Hey there YouTube, Elite Legionario here, bringing you a 2 vs 2 fort battle siege for Rome Total War. I will be teaming up with Doc Holliday and we'll be attacking. I'm in command of Macedon and he has chosen Egypt, and our opposition is ex-Grimorg X, who is the Julli Romans, and there is the King of Winter, who is the Greek cities, which is generally a faction I always ends up getting chosen in defence because it's so good in defence. So anyway, my force consists of, I believe it is 6 units of Royal Pikemen gold. The other 2 are out on the sides here. I like to attack from multiple angles so that my opponents have to defend from more locations. It makes it more micro-intensive for certain players if they're not as quick. And I just like to play on that one if I can. So that's my idea there. But I've also got 2 phalanx pikemen, which I think were silver gold. I have 4 units of gold, silver attack rather, Cretan archers. I got them for the long range, and just in case the Greek player would have Cretans, which he does. I have 4 peasants. They're just going to be towing my siege gear. I think it's always important to just use low quality units to tow the siege gear, because if they get majorly shot up, then it doesn't really matter. They're just cheap units. I also have 2 units on each side of I think it was silver gold, just regular archers. Now the reason I got them is because they have more arrows than Cretans, so once my Cretans run out of missile fire I'll still have them, because I know I was going to be able to get Spartans and I'll need to start shooting the flanks of Spartans. And I also got 2 units of light lancers which were gold, and that's just to stop any enemy cavalry basically. So what I've started doing is I've started shooting at these Cretans here. That's what I've started with my archers, and I'm just pushing my guys forward to make the entry points. So while that's happening, I'll outline Doc's force. He's got a unit of bowmen, just standard here. He's got, on each flank, he's got 3 units of gold Pharaoh's guards and 2 units of gold desert axemen. That's on each side. He has 3 units of I think it's silver desert cavalry. It's just good. That's a good cavalry choice because they're rather good. With their armor piercing axe, he's got 4 units of Pharaoh's bowmen, and they look to be about probably gold attack, I'm guessing. They're already really good defensively, so you don't need to put too many defensive upgrades on those. Then a couple of peasants to push his rams into place. So that's Doc's force, and the defenders. My opponent will obviously be the Greek city-state, so you can expect Spartans. And like I showed you in that village siege a few battles ago, they are extremely difficult to dislodge if they get in a good defensive position. If you do not save your arrows to shoot their flanks. Although I did save my arrows to shoot their flanks, I sort of run out of arrows because my ally in that fight was a bit reckless. So he has 4 units of. I think it's gold, and this one, 4 units of gold Spartans, and he's got 3 Cretan archers with, I think, gold attack, but he's trying to focus on these guys, and so that means these guys here, my guys out here are easily ripping into his Cretans, so that's fine. I'm not sure what else he has, and he has a bunch of these just Greek cavalry. I don't think there's any upgrades. He's got 2 or 3 of those, no upgrades. Now the Roman player, he has a mixture of, I think he's got Praetorian cohorts, I think, and he's got 2 urbans there. I think he's got something similar now, I think it's the first cohort. So he's got a mixture of Praetorian and urban cohorts with the first cohort. And he's also got, their upgrades, I think they're going to get 1 upgrade apiece. And he's just sitting in the Macedon in the centre here, and he's got a couple of auxiliary, which is interesting choice. I wouldn't bother with auxiliary on the defence, to be honest. Seeing as cavalry are not going to be a big deal. So as you can see, I've now ripped 4 holes in the walls, and the important thing is too, they're near each other. If you look, if I come in from this side and this side at the same time, they're very close by, so they can quickly support each other. Same thing on the other flank. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus these 2 Cretans here on shooting the flanks of this Spartan, and the other 2 on shooting the flanks of this Spartan. And if he moves anything around, I will use my other just regular archers to do the same thing. Now over here, one of these Cretans coming out of the wall, and I've sent in one of my light lancers to clean it out. So that's what's going on there. So now he's sending his Greek cavalry out to try and run off my archers, or my peasants, I don't know which. Doesn't really matter what he does with the peasants now, they've done their task. But I realised that he had very little upgrades, and I'm just going to, I don't think he has any upgrades actually, so a full-on charge for my gold light lancers will just cream these Greek cav. and it looks like Doc is now breaching the walls as well. So as you can see, I could route them, which is good. So Doc has now got his entry points in as well. So the interesting thing I noticed with this Roman player, he also has some Roman archers that he didn't catch before. He didn't really move at all, and he did not support King of the Winter, and that was a bit unfortunate for King of the Winter, but it was good for us, so I'm not complaining. So I'm bringing up my Cretians here to offer support so I can get more flank shots, because although I've got plenty of pikes, Spartans, as you know, are so much better than Royal Pikemen. It's just, I'll have to do this right. So while I've got the arrows, it's important to hit the flanks of Spartans. You should always try to get flank shots on Spartans and sieges if you can, because it's just extremely useful. This unit here is already down to 68, you know, so it's with plenty of missile fire you can quickly dislodge a lot of very powerful Spartans if you can just hit them in the back. It's really handy. So as you can see, he's turned to face this direction, so I will just simply bring this arch around and I'll still have flank shots on him. So that's going to be handy. Now he's going to try and get rid of my Cretians, and that is a wise move. He needs to get rid of them so he can preserve his Spartans. But what I will do is I'll just rush my pikes here forward, and I'll bring around my cavalry from both sides and try and stop them. And I'm also going to use my peasants to just charge them as well. These guys are winded, weakened already from that other fight, and with no upgrades they're very likely to rout pretty much immediately. And look at that, they do even into my Cretians. So I wasn't all that worried about my Cretians there. But I just brought these guys up to support just in case, because I don't need to be losing my Cretians. It would be risky. Now, at this stage, Doc entered the fort, and he didn't really let me know he was doing this. And I prefer when people tell me they're going to enter, you know, my ally tells me, because I like to time this in a siege. I like to time it together so you attack both at the same time. It appears he had a fifth Spartan to this gem. I didn't spot that before. But anyway, as I was saying, I prefer units to attack simultaneously together, both teams, otherwise you can get ganged up on one side. So when I saw Doc doing that, I realised I'm going to have to start the attack as well, but I'm not really satisfied with the amount of Spartans I've knocked out, although I've done quite well over here. This one's down to 49 units, and this one is down to 62. So, and I'm now starting on this one over here, it's down to 67. Now what I will do when I bring my pikes forward, I will put them in very deep, blocky formations. Now this is because, as I've said in other videos, when they're in deeper formations like that, they do a much better job at holding out against superior pikes, because there's just such a large amount of them. So that's a good way for inferior pikes to hold against superior pikes. And it works very well with Macedon and Seleucids and Pontus, because their pikes have 121 men in them, as opposed to Spartans or armor hoplites or Sacred Band, for instance, only have 80. So by doing this, it enables me to basically hold out for a lot longer. So as you can see, sort of very square, deep formations. The Spartans will generally balance the fight out more, but eventually Spartans will likely still win. The point is, it'll enable me to do enough damage to nullify them, and because I've got 2 units each, it'll actually be enough to beat them. 1 for 1 the Spartan would still win, but 2 like this in such deep formations would even be too much for Spartans, particularly when this unit's down to 45 and lost half its numbers already to missile fire, as is the same over here. And Doc, as you can see, has already come in, and he just killed the Roman general. I'm not quite sure where that happened, but he's coming in full scale, so I'm going to have to start going in as well, because I can't leave him to dry in there by himself. So I'll get my pikes down now, and this Spartan's coming out, so now I'm just going to mass numbers on it. At the same time, I'll shoot with this archer into its flank. Now this side, as you can see, the Spartan, this is just too condensed. I'm really losing many casualties still, even against Spartans. Just as I said, they're so condensed there in such large numbers, even the Spartans can't beat them. And particularly the fact that they're already weakened. And over here, these Spartans are getting a similar treatment. So this unit I'm still withering away with missile fire. Might as well take as much out of it as possible before I actually engage. That way I preserve troops later for the Roman. Now the Roman player is very strange in his tactic here. He's stayed in test 2 the whole time. He hasn't even tried keeping Doc out, and that was really foolish. He should have kept Doc out as long as possible, because basically if you support Spartans correctly, particularly when you're Rome, you can make them impossible to actually breach. Like in that last fight, I did that village fight a few fights ago where I sieged, the 2 defenders worked really well at time. and the Spartans were pretty much able to keep out my entire army, so that's why you should try and do that, because they're very powerful like that. So anyway, over here, he goes out of Testudo. I'm assuming he was relatively new because he didn't look like he threw any Peter at all. His troops there's a lot more of them, and even though they're less upgraded than Doc's, they are still way better troops. But with the upgrade differentiation, it's probably pretty even. But ordinarily those Roman troops are way better than those Egyptian infantry. With this stage though, I managed to squash the Spartan over here, and I'm going to come in and use these 3 Royal Pikemen. I think it's actually only 4 Royal Pikemen to offer Doc support, so he should be okay when I get in there. Over here, I'm using, at the front, I'm actually using my Phalanx Pikemen, and they were pretty much struggling to beat these Spartans, but it's pretty even, but that's just a testament to how much better Spartans are than Phalanx Pikemen. Phalanx Pikemen are not very good. Here I'm getting the backwards glitch. As you can see, they've shuffled in backwards. It's one of the most annoying glitches about phalanxes, which is frustrating, but it probably worked to my advantage considering the Spartans rolling forward. So Doc brings in his Desert Cav to try and do some damage here, and ordinarily they would do very well with a charge in and out. It's the armor-piercing axe, but in sieges you've got to be kind of careful with Cav because they can get a bit snaggy and strange. So over here, Doc's in a bit of bother. He's completely surrounded with this unit of Paris Guard. He probably was a bit hasty with it, but fortunately I arrived in time. So now I'm going to give him support, and I'm going to press in with my 4 units of Royal Pikemen here. Over here, I am holding down these Spartans, and over here, my other Royal Pikemen will make quick work of these auxilia. Now it looks like they're not got their pikes down, and it was doing that quite. Sometimes what happens is they get disorganised, they kind of keep lifting and dropping their pikes. It's really annoying.
This turn of events may make them lose heart.
But anyway, this won't make too much of a difference to Auxilia. I really don't know why he brought Auxilia, because we really didn't have that many cav. So I'm now trying to use my cav for timing here to get strikes in, but he does throw his Peter and I didn't spot this, so I will actually use one of my light lances here. But I wanted to basically just wait until these were pinned and then strike again with my light lances and charge. Because as I said, I might have told it to see at the start, but light lance had 9 charge, which is actually equal to cataphracts and companions, so very good charges. Of course they obviously don't have the same melee killing power as those units, but nonetheless they still are really good at charging. So there I killed the Greek general, and this Spartan is holding up really well against this Phalanx Pikeman, but I'm going to use these Cretians now that I've put them tight because I've run out of ammunition, and I'm just going to encircle them, and that should, well, this general dead, so he's not going to last as long. So over here, I do believe I get caught a wee bit out of order there by this group. But over here, as you can see, units seem to get very, sometimes in sieges this sort of stuff happens where they get a bit jumbled. It's kind of annoying, but there's not a lot you can do about it. But over here, Doc and me are just squishing this remaining Roman infantry, and they're not very well upgraded. We should never underestimate Roman infantry strength. It's very good. He didn't even use his peeler, so he could have been really deadly if he had used his peeler. But at this stage, it's looking really good for us. Me and Doc certainly worked together well. Doc was a bit hasty, I think, on the attacks. He didn't even let me know he was going in. He just sort of went in. But it was all right though, because we were pretty well set to go. And I probably would have liked to have taken a wee bit longer to knock some more of the flank shots on those Spartans. But nonetheless, it worked out okay. So over here, while I'm putting from the front with my Royal Pikemen, I came with my light lances and finished that grouping off. Now, as I said, it looks like they're not in phalanx formation, but I did not take them out of phalanx formation. It's just, I don't know, it's just kind of doing that. So it's happened from time to time. But same thing over here, when they get kind of clustered together, they kind of put their pikes up and down. So as you can see, this unit has their pikes out, and this unit's kind of getting some of them up and down. It's just weird. But over here, we're basically just squishing them in, and over here, I'm completely encircling these Spartans, and I will eventually bring them down. But the important thing is in any team battle is just teamwork. A lot of people, when they do sieges, I think you have to be pretty patient and take your time with it. If you're going to siege, you've got to do it right. And if you don't do it like that, you don't do patience, if you don't work together, you're going to lose. Unfortunately, me and Doc, we've played plenty of games together now, or quite a few games, considering Doc's not really been playing Rome Online very long. He picks up the skills pretty quickly, and it's always quite easy and enjoyable to play with him. So, as you can see, we're just squishing the remainder, basically just closing the remainder of these Roman infantry in. And over here I destroyed the remainder of the Spartans, so that was sweet. And they're incredibly good defensive against Spartans, but they can be exploited if you use the archers and the flank trick. Although an easy way to actually avoid that is to just get a unit of, say, Town Watch. Town Watch is better because you can use peasants, but because peasants can't be stretched into a normal line, it's better to use Town Watch. And what you do is you just stick them along the back of the Spartans, and when the enemy shoots the back of the Spartans, half of those arrows are going to go into the Town Watch and not into the Spartans, which will save a lot of them. It does make a big difference, so it's rather handy. So this unit, Urban Cohort, is typical urban strength. This one's got a bit more upgrades, I think. But it is really putting up a good fight, and I do believe my general looked at him right there in the front area of the mouse. You can see him, he's getting right there. And unfortunately he dies, which is a bit unfortunate, but he was a real brave warrior. So this was a pretty fun siege though. I rather enjoy the fort sieges because there's just something neat about them. I just like them. It's kind of cool just fighting in little encampment instead of a big city. Not that the city ones are bad or anything, I still enjoy them, and I actually probably should do another one sometime in the future. It's been a while since I've done a city siege on Rome, I think. But needless to say, this was a good game. One of the first sieges I've done with Doc, I think. It might even be the first, I can't recall if I've done the others with him, but it was always a pleasure to work with Doc online. He, as I said, he's always got some good ideas, and he's picking up the Rome Online setting pretty quickly, so that's good. So anyway, we're just finishing off these last urbans. These typical urbans, it takes pretty much everything to get them out of the way. They're awesome morale they've got. So we finally do break them, and it's going to end now, right now. So there it ends. So actually Doc gets more kills than me. He gets 200 more men than me. And as you can see, I had a huge army, so I had so many pikes, and of course Macedon has so many men in each pikes. But the army's actually really big, so I actually did lose 1,000 men, so I didn't go without my losses. And as you can see, the Roman player did get a lot of kills. He got more kills than anyone else actually, so 1,772 for him. So he did play very he didn't really support King of Winter at the start there, and he shouldn't have let Doc get in as easily as Doc did, so he didn't do everything right, but those Roman troops really proved themselves. And King of Winter didn't do too bad a job. He did the best he sort of could with what he had. He probably could have brought units to protect the back of his Spartans more though. So if we look at my statistics there, my general got quite a lot of kills. Quite a few of these Royal Pikemen did do pretty well. The Cretians did pretty well as well though, although they did lose quite a lot of men, but that's probably because they had to get into the melee with the Spartans. Phalanx Pikemen, they didn't do that great, but then again they were fighting Spartans, so that's not a big surprise. The Peasants, of course, they proved their role well. They just get up to the wall there without taking too many casualties. Light Lancers, this one did pretty nice, and this one didn't do too bad either. And the Standard Archers, they did not a bad job either, so I think everything came together pretty well. Nothing really stood out, except perhaps a couple of the Royal Pikemen, but again, I kind of prefer it when all round the board's pretty decent, because that way no particular unit shining out over the others. Not that it really matters, but again, a really good game, great game. Doc, X Grimorg X, and King of Winter. I hope you guys enjoyed, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon next time.